Can't Beat Jackson is now at 7 o'clock, so if you want to win the $370, make sure you're listening tomorrow a little earlier. He is 80-4 at this point in time. Good morning. It's John, Monroe, and Jackson.
You guys been keeping an eye on Tom Holland's Instagram lately?
Not as much as I guess I should be.
I mean, you should be, because he gave us a pretty big update yesterday. Take a listen.
Okay, so we just landed in Atlanta, and it's time for Spider-Man 3. Let's go!
Filming has begun, or at least pre-production, on Spider-Man 3 in Atlanta, Georgia.
I forgot he had an accent.
Yeah, he's British.
I forgot.
So he flew over here. The weird thing is, we actually don't know very much about this one at all. It's as it goes into production. Usually by now, Tom Holland has told us what the title is.
Right.
And he's like, I'm not going to do that again.
All right.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello.
This is our podcast extra. So we're going to go ahead and record that. And you'll be able to listen to it later on the podcast as well, in case looking at us do it isn't enough. Hold on. Hold. Brothers.
Hold. Listen,
What?
I really like the movie Braveheart. I know Mel Gibson's a turd, but I really like it.
Well, I picked this story today for our podcast.
Uh-huh.
And then,
what did you do to it?
well, I was just kind of looking back over it, and I realized it's not. It's just like a scary story. There's not really like sound effects. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just as. I mean, we could do it.
Listen,
No.
I'm here to help you with whatever you feel.
Oh, so you wanted us to do the sound effect game again?
We were gonna. We had teased yesterday in the podcast. We were gonna try again with a different story.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
Not even 24 hours. Not even 24 hours.
Whew.
That was roughly 24 hours. Just about. Roundabout.
What were you wearing?
What did the alien say? What did the alien say to the garden?
What did the alien say to the garden? Do you guys know?
I don't know, John. What did the alien say to the garden?
Take me to your weeder.
To your weeder?
Well, I don't know. You were talking over it. You were talking on type of this sweet little person.
Take me to your weeder.
Take me to your weeder.
Okay, that was a lot better than what I thought that kid said.
Did you think you heard an N?
I did.
Oh, that's not
I was like,
appropriate
wow.
at all.
That's a frisky alien.
Wow.
Dad joke.
Okay.
Again, you can always send us your jokes to our podcast. Just download the Mix app, search for Mix 105.1 on any store, and you can send us an open mic. I got another one from Bree. Do you want to hear Bree's dad joke?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, I have a dad joke for you, which was my dad's most famous dad joke to tell growing up. And it goes, why do sharks only swim in salt water?
Okay, so why do
I
sharks...
don't know. Why do sharks only swim in salt
They're
water?
Salty?
Because pepper water makes them sneeze.
I liked it. That was better.
Speaking of Bree, she actually sent us another open mic. Yeah, so see, this is what I'm talking about, getting involved with the show and
I
the
appreciate
podcast.
that.
Yeah.
Hey
Thank
guys, this is Bree from Salt Lake. I was listening to the podcast yesterday where you guys were talking about Matthew McConaughey. And John, my stepmom loves Matthew McConaughey just as much as you do, if not more. And my dad was in the National Guard and was deployed for 5 months, and so she had to buy every single one of his movies on DVD so that she could watch them over and over again every day while my dad was gone to get through him being gone. And so I just thought I'd share that because I thought it was funny. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Listen,
Yeah.
Tom's still at the house. He's never left, and I have every movie that Chris Hemsworth's ever made.
So we were actually talking off air when we weren't recording about Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson.
Right.
And how
they're
similar
the same
they
person.
They're not the same person. They're completely different people.
So Woody Harrelson was actually cast in the lead role of A Time to Kill.
Oh.
Was that the John Grisham movie back in the day? It was like this lawyer
I
one.
never watched those movies.
So Matthew McConaughey ended up starring in it, though. And the reason why was that John Grisham got final say on casting, and he wasn't a Woody Harrelson fan. And so he said, no, I don't want him. I want him instead. And that's how Matthew McConaughey got the role.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was
Well, I
listening.
didn't know that.
I was listening to an interview with Matthew McConaughey, and he said that he gives Woody, crap all the time for it because it really was a huge role for Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
At the time. So
Well, they're both very charming. They have the same swagger. They're
no,
kinda
they do not.
goof-offs.
No. Woody Harrelson is an absolute tool. Matthew McConaughey has swagger.
hold on.
I would even
No.
accept that a little bit if you had said it the
He's
other way
goofy.
around. Woody
No.
Harrelson is an angel. He's
No,
a
he's
literal
goofy.
angel. You're goofy. Your face is goofy. Your mom is goofy. Your dog, your kids, they're all goofy. All of it.
Wait. You really think that he's a tool?
Woody Harrelson?
No, he's
Yeah, he's a nerd. Matthew McConaughey, though, like, he's got swagger. He's smooth. Like,
Woody Harrelson was even a sex symbol back in the.
he was not. Woody Harrelson's never been a sex
He was a
symbol.
leading
I will
man.
take that. No, he was a leading man because he had great skills. Okay, that's it.
Great skills
Steve
doing what?
Buscemi.
How
is-
dare
is
you be
also-
talented? How dare you be talented?
No, Steve Buscemi has
You know
also
that
been a
this
leading
industry
man.
is all about looks exclusively, right?
Um,
Also, Woody Harrelson, handsome dude.
Indecent
He's
Proposal.
not.
You're wrong.
Indecent Proposal.
Yeah.
Now, I know he was the goofy husband. Like, why would you not want to be with me?
That movie.
It's terrible.
That movie is
Listen.
terrible. Oh my gosh.
That guy was hot though, super rich.
This is
so-
Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Yeah. White Man Can't Jump.
Goofy.
Okay, I reject this
No,
conversation.
you have
and
no
where it's
argument
leading.
So
against
wrong.
it.
No,
So
you're,
wrong.
you're just yelling
Wait,
goofy.
the problem is arguing with you is like arguing with people on Facebook. It's just like you are not rooted in reality.
Okay, you
I
guys-
can't have a conversation with you or an argument with you because your ideas are so not real
Woody
that
Harrelson.
it's like fighting with fake weapons. How is this going to happen?
Woody Harrelson is not sexy.
Wrong.
He's not.
Wrong.
Matthew
All right.
McConaughey
John,
is.
let's move on to the next thing because she's about to get hit. I'm just kidding. I would never. Look at you. Such a sweet angel. Plus, the wrath that would come
Fine.
back on me from those hands.
He was in Will and Grace.
He was in Will and Grace.
Didn't
he
he
was
play
great in
the-
Will and Grace?
the
Grace's boyfriend for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't last. You know why? Because he was a nerd.
Grace is a lot. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I really lost the control of this podcast today. Hey, later on in the show, you're going to hear us ask for ghost stories from our
Yeah.
listeners. And we had so many, we promised we'd read even more during our podcast. So I've got some texts. You've got some from Instagram. You want to just go kind of back and forth?
Yeah, sure, man.
You got one ready? Well,
Yeah.
Okay, go for
I've
it.
got one. This one says, I was watching TV. Oh, by the way, this is Angela Corinne. Angela says, I was watching TV. The power went off, and in the reflection, I saw a little girl run right behind me.
No.
Spooky. Not bad.
I was thinking, I had a co-host who once said that he saw his dog die, and then he swears he saw the spirit get up and run across the room.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like he's like, that's how I knew my dog wasn't just sleeping. I saw the dog get up and run out of the room. This text says, the night my dad passed away, my 2-year-old daughter woke up crying, saying that Pop was sad. She woke up at his exact time of death.
Aww.
That's a sad
sad.
one. I know.
This one says, Maggie. Thank you for sending this, Maggie. I was haunted by a friendly ghost named Fred as a teenager. He seemed to protect me and always turned up when I felt afraid, and he always made me feel better. One day, he never came back, and I still think about him. I would always joke when I felt him saying, "Hey, Fred, I've missed you." My friends all knew about it, and we all joked how nice I was to him, so he protected me. He hated my boyfriend at the time, who did turn out to be a drug dealer. So Fred was busy haunting that drug dealer to get away from Maggie this entire time.
Interesting. There's so many layers of that ghost
I know.
story.
Good for Fred. He's busy.
The day my grandmother died, she was in a different country, but my sister and I swear that we saw her sitting on my mother's bed.
That's spooky.
Oof,
I
those are
really
the
like
ones.
that one.
Yeah.
This one says, I saw a man in a bar and the owners. Oh, we already talked about that one. We did that one on the show. I was staying at a hotel in Santa Monica and a ghost walked past my bed and then vanished on the balcony. No, just gone.
Any kind of vanishing.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Shy wrote this. One time when I lived with my mom, we lived in this house. It was really creepy, and my cousin lived with us in the basement. I asked my mom if my cousin was home. She said, I think so. So 5 minutes later, there was a group of people downstairs laughing. We were like, okay, he's home. And not even 3 minutes later, he walked in the door and says, oh, I'm sorry I didn't come home last night. My phone was dead. Turns out no one was downstairs that night. We woke up to the banging on pipes and laughter. By the way, we didn't have pipes downstairs either.
Mystery, ghost pipes.
Ghost party.
You have ghost people and ghost pipes?
It was a ghost party.
Yeah.
It was like Casper.
Okay, so you're trying to sell me on the fact that ghosts exist. Now you want to sell me on the fact that ghost pipes are a thing.
They're down there putting on the Ritz.
They can
They were having a party. They were making music together.
with pipes.
I believe you.
Ragnold says, a little girl hangs out in my house. The first night, she scared me, but she's super cute and very friendly.
No,
There are other ghosts that live here, too. They're mostly nice. If they scare me, I tell them to leave, and they usually do. Well,
Really?
that's very interesting.
Okay.
All right, good to know. Get out! Get out here, you
Go
stupid dog, Casey. No one loves you.
Rude!
She just white fangs the ghosts.
You
Get out here, you stupid ghost!
You can't white fang a ghost.
Sure.
We
Why
moved
not?
into a home where the family who had lived there prior had all died in a plane accident, including 2 little girls. Over the years, I've had several experiences that I was able to, quote, explain away. One day, though, I had spent all day cleaning and organizing my master bedroom closet, including clearing the whole floor, vacuuming it. You know what a proud moment that is? Well, my husband was in bed. I went to get my pajamas on. I walked in the master closet and saw one of the Tupperware bins with my marionette puppets on the floor.
No.
I quickly went to my husband, woke him up, and asked if he had taken the puppets down. He said no. My little kids were too small to reach the top shelf. At that moment, we had a strong confirmation that those little girls who had died were still in our home. Well,
No.
Spooky.
And they're playing with marionette dolls. Can you imagine? That's terrifying.
Can I just ask this?
Yeah.
Why are you keeping marionette dolls in your house?
That's not
Like,
anything good. You're only inviting evil spirits in.
As a friend, let me say,
Well,
what
I
the
mean-
hell are you doing?
I like puppets.
Probably like grandma's that was passed down.
Jen, I don't remember, some person gave Liam an old marionette doll, and it must have been someone close because
Too
Jen
spooky.
wouldn't throw it away. And this thing creeped me out. Like, creeped me out.
And Liam's waking up. When he's not waking up facing the terrifying doll, he's waking up facing a dead mouse that his cat has left on his pillow.
Poor Liam.
Poor kid.
Just like every which way.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
This one's from Jessie. She says, this is a longer one, by the way. I used to live at my grandmother's house after I graduated college. Some weird things started happening, like doors opening and closing, lights being turned on and off. The most common thing was my walk-in closet door always opening. At night, I always slept with my closet door closed. I woke up in the middle of the night one night, and the closet was open. I got up and closed it, and in frustration, I said to the ghost, freaking stop closing the door, you idiot!
Yeah.
Since I was up, I decided to go to the bathroom. When I came back to the room, the closet door was open again. And to my horror, I realized that all of my clothes had been ripped off the hangers and thrown off the shelves onto the floor.
Yeah.
I knew it had happened while I was in the bathroom because of some of the hangers that were still swinging. Financially, I couldn't move, so I slept on the couch for a month until I could gain the courage to sleep in my bedroom again. Moral of the story is, don't call a ghost an idiot.
Yeah, right? You don't trash talk
which I think is
something
pretty
that
solid.
can haunt you.
It's pretty
For the
solid,
rest of your
Jesse.
life.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thanks so much for those ghost stories. And we're trying our best to kind of take your comments and put them into the podcast. So if you're not following us on Instagram, it's a great way to do it at Mix1051 Utah, or again using that app as well. I feel like Tom should be a part of this, but then I realized you don't allow Tom to go shopping with you because there's an Instagram account devoted to miserable husbands on shopping trips.
Dude, my husband and the 2-year-old level meltdowns that he's had in the middle of Target. Like I just can't even tell you. We have to go. I want to go.
You are a grown man. You run a business.
Yes,
you have
sucks here.
You have
I
more than
hate
one
it.
suit.
Pull yourself together, and yes, we're going to go through every clearance rack there is here.
The Instagram account is called miserable_men, and it's all pictures of men just looking bored or just falling asleep on shopping trips.
Amen.
best.
The account really has just started getting popular in the last few days, but let me tell you, I've been in all these situations. I look at these sad men, just like, thank God now we have phones, because I used to go shopping with Jen back like even in high school and college before phones. Man, and I'd just sit there in like one of the couches at Nordstrom's because they'd have like comfy and I'd have to read the paper. Or I'd have to talk to the other man there. Let me tell you what I'm not a fan of. I'm not that person. I don't want to create a friendship or a bond over the fact that we're both miserable at Nordstrom's together.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2/3 of people working remotely miss some things about the office. What do you think some of the things are?
Just talking
Social.
to adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 1, face-to-face with other people.
Yeah.
Number 2, office banter. Nope.
I
come
could
on.
do with a lot less office banter.
Monroe, you love it. You're
Me
made
and
for the
Lindas-
office.
Me and the Lindas were hilarious.
You were not.
No.
That's the
Yeah, we were
problem.
so funny. We were always laughing in the middle of the office and ha ha ha.
You guys were always loud, if that's
You were-
what you mean.
You were so distracting.
We were
I
the-
literally had to leave the office so that I could get work done.
We were the life
I was
of the
more
party.
productive at my house than I was here because of you people.
Being able to just ask a question out loud and not having to send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being able to walk over somewhere and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah,
Real
blah.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead,
Dude, I'm a fan of that, but I just hate email.
yes, you do.
I hate it.
I know, but it is 2020.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
In fact, email is old hat now.
Yeah.
Most of us are slacking these days.
Yeah, you can call me if you want. I just-
Hello, this is the 1930s. You can call me if you want.
Martha, connect me to,
You
to
know what?
Monroe.
Adolf Hitler, he's a bad egg.
I hate emails.
Hitler references, huh?
Wow.
I mean,
We're
just
timely.
old-timey
We're
references.
timely.
That's all I'm saying.
Working in a team, people miss that. Nope.
Oh, yeah, no.
Maybe it's
Crickets.
me.
Crickets. 'Cause you know what? We don't play well together.
Also, the other thing about the three of us is that we never stopped coming in.
I know,
So
that's part of the
we
problem.
don't we're like, yeah, we don't miss this.
No.
But I guess if we had left and we didn't have it every day, we probably would miss it.
Missing their desk and like how it's set up at work. Monroe, you have
that's
you do
fair.
a nice job setting up like your area. Like,
I
You have
do?
like your little fridge and so you probably miss like feels like home a bit.
Listen, all the stuff that I can't put in my house, like
Uh-huh.
my Chris Hemsworth posters and stuff. Tom won't let me hang those up in our bedroom, so
You bring 'em here?
I have to bring them to my.
Do you remember Monroe's office?
Oh, yeah. How it was just nothing but shirtless Chris Hemsworth photos
And then
everywhere.
she had couches.
Uh-huh.
And then she had like dolls everywhere.
It was beautiful.
I mean, you had the most in an office that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's all my stuff.
Yeah.
Tom won't let me move my stuff in the
That's
house.
not. I have like nothing. Anytime something's been put in my office, it's because someone else has put it there.
Uh-huh.
Hearing office gossip.
Oh
That
No.
I would miss a little bit.
man, I'm still. We have a constant group
She's-
text,
Yeah,
so we're
in the
constantly
main line
circulating all
of
the
it all.
information.
I get my gossip through Monroe, so I'm I'm good.
I know.
I'm fine.
John doesn't even ask me for it. I just tell
Yeah,
him.
I just
He's like,
did.
I didn't need to know that about
Did not
Bob.
want to know that.
The thing about office gossip, honestly, is that you learn more by just being quiet and sitting there. Because once you become part of the scenery, these people will say whatever they want in front of you.
Yeah.
And then you know everything.
I do miss actually doing lunches with coworkers. I used to do that a lot.
You really did. Yeah, you used to go to lunch every day.
Yeah.
You've never gone
Yeah.
to lunch with me.
Yeah.
You've actually
What?
Ubered. What is it? Grubhubbed lunch for you and
DoorDash.
Jackson to the office.
Yeah, he
and
did
guess
do
who
that
you
one day.
forgot
Oh,
to?
yeah. Do you remember that day?
You did do that one day.
Do you
Guess
remember
who
that
you
day?
I do.
Forgot to
I do
invite.
remember that.
You forgot to invite
Oh
Monroe.
yeah, I do remember that.
2 years. I've been on on the show for 2 years, and
Yeah, I don't even know that you were on the show yet when that
I don't think
happened.
you were on
though.
the show.
You weren't even
Allegedly.
on the show yet. You were just upset that we weren't including you.
No, I was on the show.
I'm
I
going to go with,
remember.
I bet you remember, so I'm going to just lean in on this one. I've learned over the years to just...
I'll go hesitantly, but I'm not leaning in so willingly.
Now, it says here that people miss the printer. Is that because we all use the
We all
office
use
Yes.
the
printer?
office printer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
We don't have a printer at my house.
Yeah.
They're bulky.
No
You
one does
gotta
anymore.
eat
And they
use the office.
break
cartridges,
down, and they eat cartridges like nobody's business.
the
It's not worth
paper,
it.
like no.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
The ink and stuff?
Yeah, it's horrific.
So you print out the stuff at work, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But here's the problem. The printer here,
Sucks.
I hate it so much.
No, it's just if
It's
your
like-
name is John, the printer will not cooperate for you.
The printer always works for me. My
Uh-huh.
issue is that no matter how fresh the cartridge is, it doesn't print 3 lines right down the middle of every single
yeah.
page.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the point? It's not a printer at that point. Now it's a whisperer. It whispered the information out of the page instead of telling the page what
No.
it needed to say.
Oh, man. I got a list of the scariest G-rated movies.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
And I was going to try to do it for Morning Show Family Feud, but there's so many that people
obscure.
won't. Yeah, that I don't think.
Is Coraline on there?
Coraline scares the hell out of
Also
me.
rated
That-
PG, right?
Is it?
I think it's
okay.
PG.
That is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Coraline.
That's what everyone says.
It has they have buttons on their eyes.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
But
You
we
gotta
were
watch
watching
it.
a movie the other night, and my roommate looks at this woman and says, "That woman looks exactly like the other mother. Like, looks
Oh.
exactly like
Yeah.
the other mother."
Yep. The Secret of Nim.
Oh,
I never saw it.
loved that
Little
show as a kid, but that was
rats.
scary.
Because the rat gets pneumonia.
I know he had pneumonia, and she just had to get him the stuff. But the owl, he was creepy. Remember, he was like eating all the stuff around her.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
2 is Monsters, Inc., saying it relies on the concept that monsters live under your bed and they are real.
That's
Yeah,
not
but
scary.
it ends with them being like, "Oh no, I'm a stand-up comedian instead." Charming.
Also, if it's Sully under my bed, I mean that's adorable.
I love Sully.
I'm going to warn you, a lot of these are like older movies because a lot of films now are PG-13.
That would have been G.
That you
back in
don't
the
get
day.
G-rated movies like you used to. The Brave Little Toaster. I remember The Brave Little
Never
Toaster.
seen it.
It's about a group of appliances seeking to find purpose.
That's
And
sad.
they almost get crushed in the scrapyard. It's pretty scary. A Little Princess. Oh, I love A Little Princess.
Little Princess.
I'm
the
a
one
little
where-
princess. We're all little princesses. No one? It's about the
No.
privileged girl who's forced into a life of service when her father dies in World War I. And
Probably taught her a lesson or two, didn't
Huh.
it?
it's so
The
sad.
scrubbing the floor.
It's so sad. No one's seen a little princess in this
No.
room? Danny. Danny.
No, John. No one has.
If you could leave us a voicemail. Pinocchio. You know what? I don't know if you watched it recently, but let me tell you, when they go to
Nope.
Pleasure Island,
It's
Ah.
it's freaky, and they
yeah,
those little kids are smoking.
and drinking.
I mean, it's
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
it's so
It
bad.
was made in 1940. It was a different time. Kids back then smoke and drink, I guess.
They also work
Oh.
12 hours at the mill.
Yeah.
So,
The Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I love Princess.
What, the
That's rated
Tiana?
G?
It's rated G, which I didn't realize, and
That's
they say
crazy.
it has one of the most traumatic villain deaths in Disney history.
Papa Legba, or I don't know what his name. I don't
Dr.
remember what his name
Facilier?
is. Yeah.
Facilier?
Facilier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scary.
When
scary.
he gets dragged into
Yeah.
the depths
Oh,
of hell or
he
whatever.
dies the same way the bad guy in Ghost dies. Remember how the ghosts come out and they're all "Ugh," and they drag him to hell. That's
Drag him to hell.
The Andromeda strain?
I've never seen
I
that.
don't know what it is.
That's a Michael Crichton, but I don't know anything about it.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
That
I
messed
agree.
with me as a kid.
Me too.
Because
Frollo is
dark.
terrifying.
dude, they just like they
And
take
you know what?
they throw this food at him and you're just like, that's so sad.
Here's my beef.
Yeah,
Here's my beef.
please.
If you're lumpy and you're short, you can't end up with the girl. You do everything right. You're in love with her. You do everything for her. You save her. You save her stupid goat. You leave your tower against the wishes of your master who you know might kill and beat you to death. And yet you don't get the girl. And yet you're supposed to be happy and put the hot guy's hand in her hand? No. Not on my watch.
It's because you know it's never going to work. That's why.
Well, all I'm saying is short, lumpy dudes need love too. And they went up and just gave it away. Gave her away to someone
I thought the
else.
bad guy was horrifying.
Oh,
Frollo.
yeah.
in the
He,
movie.
like, abused him. And,
Oh, well,
like,
his whole song is about how he's going to
Yeah. No.
forcefully play tennis with the gypsy.
It's
So-
a messed up movie. That's what
It
really
really
killed
is.
the Disney franchise there for a second.
I loved it, though. It was one of my favorites as a kid.
Is
It
it?
was
I'm
good.
crazy!
You really are.
it-
Toy Story 3, of course. The
okay. That
The
that
garbage
messed
scene.
with grown
Yeah.
adults.
Honestly, there were a few really scary things in that one. The Toy Story movies were a little scary.
and finally, All Dogs Go to Heaven, which we actually tried
Oh.
with the kids.
And then just like, oh, my dog's going to die? Thanks,
It was
Dad.
too much for them. It
It-
was too much at once. My kids, the same thing. So then all of a sudden we're talking about death and heaven and like.
And then
Oh.
I had Googled I like to IMDb when we watch movies, and the girl who does the voice in that, she also is the voice of Ducky in Land Before Time.
Oh.
And then I read her horrifying
Oh, yeah.
story. Do you know that
No.
story?
What?
Oh my god!
It's really
What?
sad.
It's like it's horrifying.
What
she gets
happened?
murdered by her dad.
Her dad
She
kills
got-
her. The
Yeah.
little girl who
Ducky?
played Ducky.
Yeah,
was
but
murdered?
she has this
In
whole
real life, yeah.
Hollywood career. She's actually like really successful, and her dad was crazy and just
Yeah.
murdered her
She
one
was a
day.
young girl.
Horrifying.
So sad.
So I'm glad you downloaded our uplifting
Wow.
podcast.
Thank you. Would you call this podcast Bright, John?
I would call it tight and bright.
Tight and bright.
if you had to ask me. All right. We're gonna have a brand new podcast for you tomorrow. We're gonna get into our radio show part of this now, but please join us. Message us through Instagram at Mix1051 Utah. Download the Mix app, Mix 105.1, and then just send us open mics. Be a part of the conversation. It'll be
Yeah.
really cool. All right.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Have a lovely day.